Welcome, travelers, to my realm of nightmares. Allow me to be your personal assistant. Come in, take a seat, get comfortable. For when you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.
Sampson was known for stealing other people's wives. Emphasis on was. You see, Brian Sampson was my neighbor, and he had a reputation around town. He'd been caught in bed with more married women than you'd ever think to count. Odds are, he'd received just as many beatings because of it. The thing about Brian Sampson is that he was kind of a jackass. There's the obvious. He was destroying marriages, but he was also the kind of guy to park on the road in front of driveways after driving home drunk at 2 a.m, playing his music too loud, revving his piece of crap car's motor randomly just to be a nuisance. Honestly, he was 100 times worse than words can paint. He was truly the scum of the earth. Now, one could say the women Brian slept with were just as at fault as he was, but Brian was something special. He was truly irresistible to those that he wanted, and damn near invincible to those that beat the hell out of him on the regular. That said, let's move on to how he and I met. One day, last October, I came home from work early and found my wife in bed with Brian. This absolutely killed me inside. She was my world, and she had betrayed me. We talked about it, and she told me about how he got into her head and manipulated her into doing what she did. Honestly, I believed her. She was very convincing. I took some time to get to know Brian, really get to know him, looked into who he was, and put together a pretty good profile for him, and studied his mannerisms. He and I even went together on a business venture. We decided we would purchase a refrigeration warehouse and start a cold storage business. Well, that's what I led him to believe. I let him talk to the bankers and sellers and watched as his charisma worked on them to lower the prices and close the deals. Then came the day that we went to look around the place alone. The day I hatched my plan. We were looking at walk-in freezers together. I shut the door behind us. After a few moments, I pulled a small handgun on Brian and shot him in the leg. He fell onto the ground and screamed in pain. I just laughed and walked back towards the door. He screamed and asked what I was doing, and I told him I was leaving. You can't leave me here. I'll freeze to death, he shouted. Oh, don't be an idiot, Brian, I retorted as I walked out and stared at him. Vampires can't freeze to death. I smiled as I shut and locked the door. 2 feet of steel in the middle of nowhere, locking that jackass away for the rest of eternity. Tonight's story was How I Met Brian Sampson by As the Raven Dreams. If you enjoyed this, chances are you'll enjoy the content over on his channel. The links to his channel, as well as all of his other social medias, will be in the description below. Please do check him out, and let him know PA sent you. Hey, did you know I have merch? It's crazy, but I do. If you'd like to walk around representing my realm and gaining me new travelers, the links to my merch store, as well as all my other social medias, will be in the description below. And as always, I'd like to say a special thank you to all my lovely Patreons. 242 reads, Seraphine, the Midnight Bard, Creepy Clown Girl, Mia Mina, Philia Noctis, Hair Raising Narratives, Spooky Boo Scary Story Time, Lycan Trucker, Nathaniel Nelson, and I want to say a special thank you to my newest Patreon, Pimp Demon. Thank you so much for the support, man. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me.
But as always, travelers, once you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.